Okay, we're gonna make a quick meatless manicotti. I've got my water on the stove boiling, getting ready to get it nice and warm so that I can get my manicotti noodles in there and boil those. In the meantime, I've got a bowl here and I'm going to add some ricotta cheese. So I'm gonna give this a little bit of a stir, just to get some of the liquid reabsorbed into the ricotta. And I'll go ahead and put that in my bowl. Put that up a little bit. And I'm gonna add some garlic. This is just a really quick recipe here that I'm throwing together. Depending on how much garlic you like, you can add more or less. This is just a garlic paste. Again, this is a really quick meal. I've got 2 eggs. I'm gonna go ahead and add those in. It's gonna be my binder. Got some basil here. I'm gonna add that in as well. Kind of get that mixed up, break those eggs up, and we'll just stir all this together. You could add spinach, you could add mushrooms, things like that if you wanted to. I'm doing just a cheese manicotti. Add a little more basil because I like basil. Okay, next I've got some Parmesan cheese that's grated. I'm gonna add some of that in. I would say measurement wise, I probably added about 18 ounces of ricotta cheese to this bowl, and I'll probably add about a cup, maybe a little bit more of the Parmesan cheese. Now whatever you don't use, you could actually just wrap it up and make raviolis or something like that with any of the leftover filling. Go ahead and mix that all together. And then of course you can add some pepper to this as well. You don't really need salt because the Parmesan cheese is pretty salty. I'm also going to add some mozzarella in here. So I'll just grate some fresh mozzarella, stir that in. Just grate in some fresh mozzarella as well. This is actually a low moisture mozzarella as opposed to like fresh mozzarella, which is really wet. So you want a low moisture mozzarella. And then just stir that in. And that's it. Then we'll just set this aside, and this will be what we pipe into our tubes once we get them cooked. To make this easy on myself, I'm going to pop this into a pastry bag. And then I could just pipe it right into my noodles. Okay, so I have my filling here. I've gone ahead and put it in a piping bag just to make it easier for me to get it into my shells. I've got my shells here that I've cooked for just about 4.5 minutes. I find that if you go any longer, they start to crack and split. So that's just what I do. I've got some homemade roasted garlic marinara sauce, pasta sauce. I like this brand. It's a little more expensive, but it's worth it. And then some grated Parmesan cheese and some more mozzarella cheese. So I'm gonna open up my sauce here. There we go. And I'm gonna start by putting a little bit down in my dish. Try not to make too much of a mess. Get that all spread out. That way my noodles won't stick to the bottom of the dish. And then I'm going to take my filling and I will just snip off part of my pastry bag here. Put that somewhere so that it doesn't get lost into your dish. And then I'm just gonna grab one of my pasta noodles and I'm going to give this a good fill. Just like so. And then I will lay that down and I'll just keep going. Till they're all nice and full. It's kind of like filling cannolis. So you want to make sure you've got it on the top and the bottom. And I'm going to butt these up against my dish as much as I can so that if I need to do a row this way, I can. Get that out of my way and just keep going. And then if you need to, you can also come through and cut them in half if you need one to fit in a specific spot. And there we go. And then once you get one row, you can add some more sauce. I also like to add some mozzarella, a little Parmigiano Reggiano, and then I'll add one more row, put more sauce on top, more cheese, more Parmesan, and then into the oven it will go. So this is gonna be the final step here. Just spread out the rest of that sauce. And then I'll go ahead and put on some of my mozzarella, some more Parmesan cheese, and then this is going to go into the oven and bake until it is nice and bubbly and golden brown. All right, into the oven we go. All right, our manicotti is all cooked up and ready to serve. So let's just come in here. Ooh. There we go. Some really delicious, cheesy manicotti.